What is up, fam? Welcome back to Authentic Rehab. My name is Zachary Beckwith and I help people live authentically. Welcome to the new year. I hope everybody had an incredible New Year's Eve. I hope everybody is safe and ready for what is to come. Before I fully step into this new year, I want to recap 11 things that I learned from 2019 and 11 things that I plan to bring with me into 2020, as these things have changed my life more than anything else. 2019 was an incredible year for me. It caused for so much change, some heartache, but so much growth. I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm extremely grateful. I'm doing 11 things because it is personally my lucky number. So I'm going to start with number 1. I got clean from all mind-altering substances. I learned that the drugs and these substances that I was relying on were not my biggest issue. My biggest issue was my inability to properly deal with and cope with my emotions and life as it came. I was simply numbing myself as I was not able to cope with what was going on in my life from a very early age. I had an issue with addiction well before I even touched drugs for the first time. Number 2, I started to live authentically. For the majority of my life, as long as I can remember, I was trying to fit in. I would lie and tell stories and do whatever I could to fit in. And what I realized was, in trying to fit in with everybody else, all I did was I lost myself. I never felt like I was a part of, because I was never living authentically. So that was change number 2, and I highly recommend this for everybody. In a world where we are all trying to fit in, we are all fronting and trying to be somebody that we are not. This is so detrimental to us. We need to be our authentic selves. We all have something that we can bring this world, but as long as we are not living authentically, we are not bringing to this world what we are supposed to. Number 3, I practice gratitude. Every single day I wake up and I practice gratitude. I list off at least 5 things that I am grateful for. There are things that I'm striving for in the future, but as long as I am continuously hoping to gain more, I am telling the universe that I am not happy where I am. And that is not the case. I am extremely happy and extremely grateful for what I have right now in this moment, as I have come to realize that I have everything that I need right here, right now. Number 4, I learned to set boundaries. This was huge for me from a very early age. As early as I can remember, I picked up a skill called people pleasing. I used to think that this was a good thing, as I could mold with and hang out with so many different people, and I felt like I had very few enemies. But what I realized is that I was just people pleasing. I was trying to avoid confrontation and get everybody to like me, and I was simply harming myself. I was not able to say no to things that I should. I was hanging out with people that I never should have been hanging out with, doing things that I never should have been doing in the first place. So that number 4, learning to set healthy boundaries, absolutely life-changing. 5, mindful consumption. I went over this in a previous video. Mindful consumption is my diet. It's what I consume on a daily basis. Now you're thinking this is a diet, this is what you eat, but it is so much more than that. It is not just what I eat. It is what I put on my body. It is what I listen to, what I watch, what I read, the people that I hang out with, the places that I go. I am now mindful of what I put in my body and what I subject my mind and my soul to. I no longer watch degrading shows or listen to degrading music or watch the news, which is placing fear into all of us. I watch shows, listen to music that will uplift me, that I can learn from, that raises my vibration and overall consciousness. So this is absolutely huge for me. And yes, my diet, what I consume and what I actually eat, is also major. I used to eat a whole bunch of fast food and a whole bunch of shit, and I no longer do that. I live a vegan lifestyle where I eat a full plant-based diet, and I eat food that resonates with my vibration. And this has been absolutely life-changing. So make sure you are mindful of your daily consumption. Number 6, I started to meditate. Meditation has helped me so much. And the biggest realization that I've had through my meditation is that I am not my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions. I am the observer of my thoughts, my feelings, and my emotions. I know that we all hear that voice in our head when we are judging somebody, or we are thinking about something. We are thinking about the past. We are thinking about the future. We are not that voice in our head. We are the observer of that voice in our head. This is absolutely huge. We all have thoughts and judgments, but it becomes an issue when we identify with these thoughts, these judgments, and these feelings that we have. Meditation has taught me to be present, to not identify with these things. They are simply clouds. They come over us, they pass through, and if we don't identify with them, they will continue on. This has been life-changing for me. Number 7, I established a daily routine. This routine within the last 9 months has changed, but I have become very diligent on a few things as I've simply prioritized and I've grown and I've realized what I really wanted to implement in my life. A few things that I do every single day. I wake up very much earlier for work. I wake up at least an hour and a half early for work. I go to the gym 4 or 5 days a week. I do stretches and some kind of a yoga flow at least 3 to 4 times a week. I meditate and pray every single morning. I list off 5 things that I am grateful for. I take cold showers every single morning. My entire shower is not cold. However, I finish with at least 30 seconds to a minute of a freezing cold shower in order to embrace the discomfort. Number 8, I learn to forgive. We all want forgiveness. We all want to be forgiven for the things that we have done. However, we will never be able to get that forgiveness from somebody else as long as we are not forgiving ourselves. This is what I've learned. I want to forgive everybody else. I want everybody to forgive me, but I was not forgiving myself. This is huge. It all starts within ourselves. There is nothing in life that is unforgivable. Things may seem so horrid and as if they are unforgivable. But if you do not forgive somebody, if you hold this resentment towards somebody else or towards yourself, you are carrying such a heavy load. And if you are able to release this, not just for the other person, but mostly for yourself, it will allow for so much more positive energy to enter your life. Learn to forgive others and most importantly, forgive yourself. 9, I've learned to remain in the present moment to the best of my ability. I've learned that the past brings nothing but depression, as it brings a lot of guilt and shame and resentment and remorse. However, the future brings nothing but anxiety, as the future is a mind projection of something that hasn't even occurred yet. Eckhart Tolle said a very profound statement. It is, you can always cope with the now, but you can never cope with the future. How can you cope with something that hasn't even occurred, that you don't even know how it's going to occur? All we can control is this moment that we have in front of us right now. There is no suffering in this moment right now. And if there is something that is uncomfortable, or there's something that may seem like you're suffering right now in this moment with this breath, you simply address it. If it is something that you cannot address, then you stay in this present moment. Number 10, I became vulnerable. In a world where we have made people to believe that you are weak if you reach out for help, or that you are weak if you do not fully express your emotions and how you're feeling in this moment, this mentality is killing people. We need to become vulnerable. Everybody wants to be courageous, but nobody wants to be vulnerable. They go hand in hand. In order to be vulnerable, you must be courageous. In order to be courageous, you must become vulnerable. Be your authentic self. Express how you feel. Reach out for help if you need it. We are here not to be by ourselves, not to deal and conquer everything on our own. We are here to help one another. And in order to receive help and ask for help, we need to become vulnerable. And number 11, this is very important. I stopped seeking validation from others. This goes hand in hand with living authentically. I stopped looking for the validation and the gratification of other people. I stopped caring what other people thought of me. I just learned to love who I am, just how I am in this moment. I am good enough as I am. It does not matter if somebody does not like what I am doing or what I stand for. As long as I can lay my head down on the pillow at the end of the night, I am doing okay. That is very, very important. I hope that these 11 things helped you. I know that they helped me tremendously. I hope everybody has a very blessed 2020. I feel like it's going to be an incredible year. Remember, raise your own vibration. If you raise your consciousness single-handedly, you are raising humanity's consciousness. And this is what we need in a world full of suffering right now. I love you all. Namaste.